Did I do things right? Did I push the right button? Oh, I see an ad. Okay, I guess I am live. Hey everyone. Thanks for coming out and celebrating 4 years of Sentinels with us. Yay! And as you can see up there, I have the fundraising bar going. We're doing really well. We have a goal of 1,500, and we're at 883 and 4 cents. All right. So yeah, there's been a lot going on this week, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming out to all the various things we've been doing, and hopefully this will be interesting for you as well. I just deleted that there because it was just me testing to make sure that the sound was working and stuff. It was nothing important. All right. So let's see here. Let me grab my notes. And so first of all, sorry for the poor microphone quality when I talk. That's because in order to get the sound from the program, I had to reroute my speakers into the microphone ports. It's kind of weird, but it's the only way I could get it to work. So hopefully the piano at least is coming through okay there. And also this computer that I'm using is 6 years old, and it's kind of been doing some funny things recently, and I've had to do hard reboots. So if I suddenly disappear in the middle of the stream, I apologize for that. But hopefully I can get back up and running soon. I have a new computer coming in tomorrow. I got it custom built, and I'm looking forward to getting that. Sorry that I couldn't have it ready in time, but we'll do what we can. So just checking out the chat. Yay, we're live! It's been over a year since I met you, but really ramped up my interest in playing Sentinels. Thanks. I mean, Sentinels is a good game, and I feel like I can say that without tooting my own horn, because I wasn't the one who designed it. So I just converted it, along with the rest of the team, obviously. And so I'm glad you enjoy it. Happy anniversary! Hey everyone! Thanks for coming. All right, so today, as part of our Season 2 Kickstarter a couple of years ago now, one of the stretch goals that was met was that I would be doing hero themes for all the Season 1 heroes. And we didn't reach the stretch goal for the Season 2 heroes, but that doesn't mean it'll necessarily never happen. And so we've been so busy doing other things, you know, other games and new content for Sentinels, and of course new music for Sentinels, that it hasn't been the main focus for the most part. Obviously, we do fully intend to fulfill our commitment to doing them, but you know, the game itself had a higher priority, so we'll get there. We're getting there. So today I'm going to do a piano sketch for a hero, and just to explain that a little bit. Whenever there's a piece of music that relies heavily on its melody and its harmony and stuff like that, I often do a piano sketch for it. And a piano sketch is just, it just uses the piano, and it's just to give an idea of what the song sounds like. You know, it doesn't necessarily even use any of the instrumentations of the that the end result will. So, you know, maybe I'm playing on a piano, but there won't be any piano in the final product. But the reason that I do this is, well, one, it's just quicker and easier for me to get my ideas down without getting distracted by, you know, instrumentation and all that stuff. But also, it breaks it down to its simplest parts, and I even use a pretty basic piano sound for this. It's called Forefront Piano Module. It's totally free. I got it, oh, geez, 15 years ago or something. Like, as you can hear, it's like nothing special, but I do that on purpose because the philosophy is kind of like, if it sounds good in its worst form, it'll sound great in its best form. And, you know, that's not a bad philosophy for things like games, too. You know, like, make sure it's fun before you commit a lot of resources into it. So that's what I'll be doing today. I won't be doing the whole song because that'll take longer than the stream would last. I'm just coming up with ideas and making a sketch today for a hero so that in the future I know what I'm working with. And I got you fine folks to vote on which hero you would like to hear me working on today. And it was pretty close between two heroes. But ultimately, Unity was the winner. So, we will be working on a piano sketch for Unity today. Just a little bit about Unity. She's what's referred to in the Wiki as a technopath who can assemble and disassemble bots, or mechanical golems if you prefer, with her mind. So she can take a bunch of parts and assemble them into a functioning bot for as long as she needs to, and then disassemble it. I'm sure most of you already know this because you're because, you know, you're all Sentinels fans. Anyway, so the three aspects of Unity that I think should be represented in her music. So first of all, obviously her ability to create bots, and on a whim, and kind of assembling and disassembling them. So I think that this would be the hardest part to represent in a piano sketch alone, because I feel like that idea is represented more by the sounds. Like, you can hear metal pieces floating and moving together, and just like disassembling and whatnot. So I feel like you won't really hear that part quite as much in this sketch. But one idea I had was maybe adding some like disjointed runs up and down to kind of represent, you know, the bots being assembled and disassembled, and then I could put some sound effects over that would go along with it. Another aspect of Unity that I want to represent, which I do with all the heroes, is their heroic nature. So there has to be something in it that sort of represents the something good, something optimistic, and something somewhat powerful. You know, like somebody you can rely on. And finally, her personality. So I was talking with Greater Than Games about ideas for Unity's theme, and it seemed like the most important aspect to them to represent was that of an easygoing, lighthearted, playful, and fun character. And it should be somewhat quick, but not fast. So that is what I'm going to be aiming towards today. All right, so it seems like people are happy with that choice in the chat there. So let's get started. So to represent the sort of the bots, I thought it would be kind of fun if there was something at the top going like this. And of course that would be, you know, replaced by sounds that make more sense for bots, but again, I try and limit myself to just using the piano as much as possible for these kinds of things. So let's see, I'll just start recording here and I'll add some of that. Okay, and maybe it'll start out that way and then it'll kind of, you know, start, like that'll be sort of the opening and then the musical part will kick in right here. And then so usually when I'm making a piano sketch, rather than committing too much to a single idea, I try a whole bunch of things. Like I just hit record and then play the piano and play anything, like sort of improvise anything that seems within the style, and then I try and pick out like what I thought best represented the ideas afterwards. I don't even typically play to a grid when I'm doing this. I just kind of freeform it. So what you're about to hear is just me improvising. I almost always do it in the key of C because that's the one that I'm most familiar with. It's a bit of a crutch, but it always works. So, so that's what I'll be doing. Maybe some Jewish influences. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Might have to come back to that idea once I you know, look into that a bit more. But that is a good point. So I'll keep that in mind for the future. All right. Yeah, and of course we have the fundraiser going. So at any point, if you like what you see or hear, feel free to leave a donation. And even if you don't, leave a donation anyway, because the donations are all going to Child's Play charity. So it'll be a good cause one way or another. So let's get going. So I'm just going to hit record, and I'm just going to play a bunch of things. You'll probably hear me mess up a few times because I'm just kind of playing stuff off the top of my head and not really committed to anything. And then I'll kind of review it from there. It would help if I actually assigned the piano sound to this track. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. Hmm. All right. So that was about, let's see, yeah, almost 5 minutes messing around. So I'm just going to play that back and mark anything that I think is heading in the right direction here. Nope, not that. bit too... that doesn't quite work. Maybe something wrong here. Oops. Alright, so most of that doesn't work, but that's fine. I think there are some nuggets in here. Let me try this. I mean, this is pretty much the process, is me sort of discovering what direction to take, and if I come up with something and Greater Than Games is like, nope, then I do something else. And if they're like, yep, then I keep working with it. But that's one of the advantages of doing piano sketches. It'll only take me an hour or two to come up with one instead of several hours of something that doesn't work. So anyway, I marked off here some of the ideas that I think might have some nuggets in them, so I'm just going to give those a re-listen here. Right there, I kind of liked that, I think that has sort of that light-hearted feel. But I think in order to give it a bit more of a feeling of speed, I've changed the chords more often. And then I really like this chord at the end here. So I might slip that in somewhere. Maybe not quite just held like that, but let's see, what is that? It is a F add 9 chord over G. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, these are kind of a similar idea, but again, I think I would quicken it a little bit. Let's see what we have here. So this has some of the more heroic elements, and I think it would actually contrast nice out of something more bouncy. So I think the first section could be kind of like this lighthearted da 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 da, and then the next part would get into that, because like she is using her bots heroically. She's not just a girl who can make bots, like, and so I feel like having both of those in there, like maybe starting out with, maybe starting out, what on earth am I doing? All right, maybe starting out with this idea here and then doing this idea. That sounds like it's a good starting point for me. Okay, yeah, I like that. Like the triplet there. Adding triplets to things that don't usually have triplets gives it a sense of rhythmic interest. So using those once in a while is a nice touch. Alright, I like this melody. I don't think what's underneath it supports it very well. It's like these long notes, but I do like this da-da-da-dum, la-da-da-dum, la-da-da-dum, or whatever. I think I'm going to try that. So let's see, 6. Oops, hit the wrong key there. I just added a marker. Okay. Right, the sus4 resolution. Okay. Yeah, and that's sort of what I had at the start there. And I think I will add some pedal to that, so they kind of blend together a little. And then turn the pedal off. Okay, I'm going to look in the chat a little bit just to see what we have going on here. Yeah, some people pointed out like, oh, this part sounds like this, but obviously at this point I'm not really sure what what part it was referring to. Let's see, kind of fun dance music. Little fragments in her music that she assembles into full phrases. Okay, that's interesting. I think that would take me a little bit of time to figure out, but it is interesting. Yeah, kind of. This is Chichungi's idea. Yeah, I'm not going to mess around with that here, but I am going to keep that in the back of my head because that would be thematically appropriate. Let's see. Even the bits that sound very piano appropriate, I still hold warm synth pads behind. Yeah, warm synth pads. Yeah, I mean, there probably will be some synths in here. I think it makes sense. I think it'll be kind of a combination of like maybe strings. Maybe I will use piano on this one. I'm not sure yet, but maybe not a pure piano. Maybe like an electric piano or something. Some strings, some woodwinds. I don't use a lot of woodwinds in Sentinels, so I feel like it would breathe some freshness into it. And then, yeah, maybe some pads in there to fill out some of the sounds. This I like, but even fluffing it out of my head, it doesn't sound very Unity. I'm not sure if you meant the whole thing, nougat bar, or a particular part. Needs more adorable T-Rex roar synth. Yeah, I'll try and represent the different bots that she's creating when I'm actually doing the instrumentation and stuff. But again, that's pretty hard to do with a piano at this point. Yeah, so I think Nougat's referring to the second part there, especially with the synthetic sound separating them. Like she gets serious after making the bots. Yeah, I think you're referring to the heroic part there. How do you have something that supports a melody? Oh, at this point I don't. Trying to play a melody over all this would be a nightmare. But that's because I was just sort of freestyling. I wasn't really trying to support a melody yet. But I will be getting to that. You could swap that for some portamento if goes synthy. Swap that. I'm not really sure what that is in this point case. I guess if you had themes for the rest of the Freedom 5, this is Epiku, she could have parts of those included, either as her bots or as the intern. Oh, that's interesting. Man, there's a lot of good ideas here. I'm not sure I'll be able to do all of them justice. But you know, the piano sketch doesn't necessarily need to be content complete, so I'm just trying to get something down that sounds like it's a piece of music at this point. Alright, so I am going to start over here and actually try and put something down based on the ideas from over here. Oh wow, we got more donations coming in. Thank you, whoever that was. I don't have the Crick Camp like clapping and air horn and all that stuff going, but we appreciate that. Okay, let's see what we can get going. We're going to do it to metronome now, just so I'm not making things difficult for myself later. I think I'll start with a couple of different chord progressions and see what works best. Whoa! Okay, it looks like the pedal was held down there. Try that again. So I tried a few different ideas there. So now I'm gonna. So this is more rhythmic. It's to the grid, and you know, these are things that I can start building from. It's a little bit more concrete of an idea. As you hear, the chords change more often than they did in my original ideas here. So if I play this again for you. Versus this. Yeah, I kind of like this part. I might lead with that. Yeah, I like those two. I'm not sure which one I like better. Whoops. I'm leaning towards one of these two. Like that part. Let's see. If you guys have any opinions, let me know. You'll notice that these regions have numbers at the top there, so if you want to refer to a particular section, that's a convenient way to do that. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. I like those two. I like the way this ends with this. Da, 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 da. Let's try to extend that out a little bit more and get rid of that note that shouldn't be there. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with that and then play that ending right before it jumps into the melody. So I can just cut out this chunk here. Separate at the end there. I'll take this. And I would say that this is pretty low for these chords. It's sounding a little muddy. But the nice thing about doing it all digitally is I can transpose it later. Because I'm used to working in C right now, so if I suddenly transpose it up, it just adds a layer of complexity that I don't need to worry about at the moment. Okay, so where does it go from there? So first I'll fix some of my timing mistakes here. I wonder if it should be a little bouncier with... Yeah, I kind of like that contrast in the long and the short ones there. Boom. Bum, ba, ba, la ba ba bum. La ba ba ba. Sometimes I start singing out my ideas so that I know what I'm aiming for. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Again, this is pretty high, or low rather. And then right there, I'll probably add a note. Da 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 da. Oh, that should be up high actually. Bum bum bum. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I don't know. This part here I'll work on a little bit more later. I'd like to get to the melody a little bit. So these are. I guess I can separate this out a bit here into something a little more meaningful. Move the chords here, do a melody line. So I guess I actually meant to lead with this, right? So, here. Copy. Don't worry about what I'm doing right now. I'm just organizing things so I know what's intended. Yeah. Alright. That's gonna get pretty tedious pretty quickly. I forgot to play the pedal when I was doing this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to or not, but I didn't. Now I can either add it in manually everywhere or just remember for when I do it later. Alright, so I think... Alright, let's see what we have in the chat. Oh, I like this. Oh, good. I know almost nothing about music, so I don't know what to offer. I mean, that's fine. Just, if you like things and you say you like it, that's helpful. If you don't, that's also helpful. Even if you can't explain why. Just, you know, knowing how you feel about it is good. The ups and downs of the chord makes me think of the parts of a bot merged together. That's cool. Yeah, I can see that. Music theory is overrated. Give me more parallel fifths any day. Screw the rules. Okay. I mean, I love music theory, and I view music theory as descriptivist, not prescriptionist, meaning that music theory is studying music that already is, as opposed to saying what music has to be. I use parallel fifths all the time, and I understand what GTG Bigfoot is talking about. In traditional music theory, there are certain rules that are and aren't supposed to do, especially when it comes to counterpoint. And I feel like that's more of study of history than it is of requirements of music theory. I guess this is getting a little philosophical, but I find that having the language to describe what you're hearing and reading on sheet music is so much, like, it helps so much in realizing your ideas quickly, in my opinion. Oh, Crit Camp! Welcome, Crit Camp! Yeah, Crit Camp did a really great stream yesterday, and they do really fun streams all around. Mine are pretty boring by comparison, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, this is not the Unity from the Extrudeverse. Alright. Anyway, let's move on to this, because we haven't even gotten the melody going here yet. But I think I have an idea what it sounds like based on the ideas from before. So first I'll put in some chords. Maybe. No, that was messy. I'm just going to practice here for a second. Now for the recording. Oh my. It's always when you're recording that you mess up the most, huh? Okay, that was pretty close. Let's see. Just gonna fix up some things here. And this would probably be a good spot here for one of those bot runs, but I don't want it to interfere with the melody, so I'll just mark it as an idea. Now I'll try a melody. Something like that. So I'm going to polish it a bit here. Make it. Da 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 da. Something like that. Something like that. Let's see. So, I mean, at this point, it's like, this could be exactly the kind of thing that Greater Than Games is talking about, or this could be a bit too, I don't know, you know, happy day, bubbly. I just, you know, I'm just kind of going off what they told me and the references they gave me, and I feel like this fits with what they were thinking, but I guess we'll see. I might quicken it up a little bit, just so it's a little peppier, but we'll see. One of those notes sounds off. I'm not sure which one. Alright, I'll try the next section. That's too low to just jump down there all of a sudden. In case you're wondering what this is all about, that was that idea from over here, I think. No, not there. Yeah, from there, I think. Oh my. Whoa! Big donation just came in. Thank you. I'm not sure if you're here or not, but thank you, whoever that was. So that's one option there. I'll just take that out for a second. Another option is this. So I'm going to try that too. Sorry. What I was doing there. Alright, now I gotta figure out a melody for this next part. Whoops, I had that same part there twice. Ooh, those aren't lined up. Some of that. All right. Take a look at some comments here. Whose party is this? The beloved Unity! Yay! Hopefully, I'm doing her justice. I mean, I could be totally off track, and I'm sure you're good in the games. Let me know, or it could be exactly it. I mean, it's matching up with what I'm thinking, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely not Raw Chrono Ranger. Does this just get stuck in your head all day by the time you're done making it? Yeah, I have to listen to it quite a number of times. You know, at least tens, if not, maybe not hundreds, but at least 100. So 100 times might not be an exaggeration while I'm working on it. You know, not from start to finish every time, but different chunks of it. So usually by the time I'm done making it, I'm a little bit fatigued of it, but you know, that's just because I've heard it so many times. Let's see. I'm going to try speeding this up just a bit, see what happens. Yeah, that's working for me. I'm going to try even faster, and I'll just keep kind of go back and forth until it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. I think when I repeat this, I'm going to go up. Just see how that works. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Except I'm gonna have more da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. So I gotta let go of the pedal right on that note, or it'll keep hanging. And then, yeah, this one can hang. Oops. No. Did something wrong there. It's too much of a jump. This is for like rhythmic interest, but again, these like up jumps, these quick up and down jumps are meant to represent the idea of like she's quickly putting pieces, assembling and disassembling pieces. Let's see if I can. And then again here. Yeah, and then up here. Oh my goodness. That pedal. It's pretty aggressive. Turn off! There we go. Da 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 da. Oops. What am I doing here? Oh, I see. It was on the wrong grid. Okay. There we go. Might be too much going on in the melody because I'd like to have more of these little jumps here. What's going on in the chords? G, C, G, C. And I kind of feel like, yeah, it's losing a bit of its peppiness because of not keeping this rhythm here. And this is too... yeah. I might just... I'm going to do something bold here and just take out the pedal completely. See how that works with the melody. Yeah, it's a little tighter. Actually, quite a bit tighter. Which I think is good for this. And those are standing out a bit too much. So I think I'll... I apologize for those hanging notes. They're hard to fix on the fly, so I just usually let it happen. I wish it would just let go of the notes, but it doesn't. Oh, I see, they were still here. I'll get rid of those ones and pull these ones up. So, in case you haven't figured it out, this line, I mean, I think I've said it, but the intention here is that these are the bots, like the pieces of the bots, and they're moving around. And then right here, it's all going to come in this kind of like harmony, counter harmony kind of thing. And the idea is that it all sings together, it all works together. It's all unified, if you will. And I don't know, I'm feeling good about this part, especially right now. Sometimes when I zoom in too much, I get too familiar with what's going on here. I lose the focus, so I'll just zoom out, so to speak, and listen to the whole thing up to that point, or even to the end. Some of it's a bit too busy. Some of it works really well, I think. I'm losing something here. Da, da. These are too pronounced, I think. And now they're gone. So add some block parts here. Hold on, I'm just going to see what's going on harmonically here. noticing some clipping here, so I just got to turn those down. One thing I was trying out was to try and keep this jaunty thing going, but it wasn't really. It's not really working with both the pedals, so I'm just going to put it back the way it was for now. Maybe if I add another line, that'll do it. We'll see. That's just messy. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, well, might have to use a different instrument or something. We'll see. Da 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 da. Really high. Alright, I think we're nearing the end of what I would consider a complete piano sketch idea that I would then pass off to the team with Handelabra and also Greater Than Games, and you know, see what they think. Is it the right direction? Is it the wrong direction? The nice thing about if it's the wrong direction is that we can always use it for something else some other time if it fits. And the nice thing about if it is the right direction is that we can keep working on it. So let's give it a listen from the start here. Alright, we'll give it one more listen, and I'll wrap things up. I think I'm just going to have a little lead in here. Right there, just maybe not that one, but something like that. Fix this. Let's start it lower. All right. So I think that about wraps it up. It's been almost 2 hours, which is, you know, about how long it takes me to do one of these normally. And And I'd like to thank everyone who came out this evening or is watching later on YouTube. And thanks everyone for voting on who we would work on. And of course, thanks for supporting us this week for our 4th anniversary of the Digital Sentinels version, and of course for donating to our fundraiser. We are, about 2/3 of the way to our goal, which is awesome. And I hope you enjoyed this. Obviously, hearing a piano version of something and hearing the final result are two different experiences, but hopefully this gave you an idea of where I often start with these kinds of things. And, so with that, I will wait a moment in case there are any questions or anything, and then I will say goodbye. Alright. It was very entertaining, always good to hear your thought process, on how you were doing your magic. Yeah, thanks. I watch other composers stream once in a while, and I always appreciate not just watching them do what they do, but hearing their thoughts on why and what their ideas are and stuff like that. Thanks, Jean-Marc. I didn't think I could get any more pumped for the hero themes. Yeah, I love doing these hero themes, especially after, doing so many villain themes. It's nice to be able to do something that reflects the more optimistic side of things. Yeah, thanks for coming. Where will these themes play? Just the multiverse? Yeah, I mean, we haven't really established what we'll do with them once they're done, other than we'll definitely be releasing them as their own album to Kickstarter backers, and I'm sure it'll be made available to other people as well for purchase. But outside of that, we haven't made any concrete plans, so I can't say for sure at this point. But they will eventually be available as an album. So, all right, thanks everyone, and I'll keep rocking with the Sentinels 4th anniversary. I'm pretty sure there's another stream tomorrow night, if I remember correctly, and hope you enjoy saving the multiverse. Bye!